Well, hi there. Father Francis here. Well, this video is a little out of the ordinary. Pretty much like my earlier video of today, my Julia child, bon appetit, making my roasted lemon herb garlic chicken, which I have to be honest was quite tasty, quite wonderful. This video is kind of a little out of the normal genre. Some of you who watch these videos are either my friends or maybe even parishioners, or maybe just somebody who had discovered some of my little homilies and you kind of like to watch them from time to time, and you're welcome to do that. And I thank you for watching, by the way. But this little video is again kind of a little out of place in some regards because it doesn't quite fall into the same category of the homilies that I normally make for my YouTube channel here at Stevenson RF. So today though, and a lot of you who like to watch my little YouTube homilies remember every now and then I'd have a little guest appearance by this little animal right here, Dusty. That's Dusty the cat right there. I'm gonna kind of see if that's working there. I don't know how this is working because I've got ScreenFlow. I got a new version of ScreenFlow. Oh. But again, I have to tell you, my little Dusty cat was a little sweet kitty, and I got word today that she is gone to kitty cat heaven. Now I have to back up and explain a little bit about Dusty. She was going to go with me to my new assignment, but I found out, sad to say, my pastor is allergic to animal fur, which includes dogs and kitty cats. So there's no way I could bring Dusty with me. If there was any way possible, I would have done it. But the next best thing to do was to see if I could find a home for her. My best friend Don by Mr. B. He volunteered. He said, you know, I'll try to give the kitty a new home. And so, to tell you the truth, he did above and beyond the call of duty. He's not I mean, he likes animals, but animals are outside, creatures, not inside creatures for him. Now, and I thought, well, you know what, Dusty would probably have a better chance, certainly going up there to Grass Valley, and instead of going to the pound, because I just kind of felt that, in the pound, the bottom line is that basically, they're going to gas her, burn her, in about a week, if she even has that long. And, she was a 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old cat. 4 years old, I take that back, 4 years old. Would have been 4 years old. Well, she really was actually 4 years old, but I got her in September, late September of about, was it 05? Yeah, 05. So there you have it. So anyway, and she was a little kitten, and a little funny story about Dusty was, I got this little kitten. I remember trying to get a cat, and I won't go into the other story, but I was in Barnes & Noble, and the phone rang, and this person was, wanting to know what kind of a person I was, and character references and everything. They really wanted to make sure the cat got a good home. And so anyway, I finally got the kitty, and I brought her home in a little Coca-Cola box. It's kind of cute. And I put her in the bathroom, and I thought, well, she'll be safe there, because I got another cat 2 weeks before, and it ran out the screen door before I could catch it the first night, and its name was Trigger. And Trigger, God bless Trigger, came back the 2 nights after I got, Dusty here. So, so then I had 2 kitty cats for a while. Anyway, but Dusty, the reason why I called her Dusty was because when I went back in the bathroom an hour or so later, I couldn't find this cat. I mean, it's a little fuzzball, but I couldn't find the cat. I looked around, and I looked around, and I looked around, and my gosh, I mean, how little cats, especially little cats, can get into the tightest little spaces. I mean, there was a dresser or a little medicine cabinet up against the wall, and there was like maybe that much space, and that cat had crawled down in that space and was just kind of looking up at me. When I looked over, I thought, well, where'd that cat go? And sure enough, there it was. And I went, oh my gosh, look at that. So anyway, she was kind of scared, and well, at the time I thought it was a he. But when I pulled the little kitten out, it was all covered with dust. Just literally, it looked like one of those dust mop things. And I held the cat, and I said, you know what, your name is Dusty. And that was the end of her name. Just a real natural name, Dusty. Later I called her Dostoevsky, because I kind of got this Brothers Karamazov thing, and I got 2 other brother cats, and I called them the Brothers Karamazov, you know. I mean, I don't know why I do that, but anyway. So Dostoevsky or Dusty. Anyway, so Dusty, you know, was just a wonderful little cat. And then about 6 months later, I kind of noticed that the cat was putting on weight. Now, they assured me this was a boy cat, and they wouldn't lie, would they? And I remember holding up Dusty and kind of going, you know, this cat looks like it's putting on weight, but kind of in a really kind of an interesting way. It kind of looked like it had saddlebags. And I asked a friend of mine, I said, do you think this is a boy cat or a girl cat? And they said, that's a girl cat. So Dusty turned out to be a Dustette, but I still called her Dusty. Anyway, so she had kittens, interestingly enough, on, believe it or not, Easter Sunday morning. I remember Easter Sunday morning, I was working at the prison, and I remember getting up about 6 o'clock to those little sounds of meow, meow, meow. And so Dusty, because she was always a small cat, she was a very small cat. Even when she grew up, she was still a small cat. She had 3 little kitties, and they were cute and adorable. And but anyway, so Dusty was a very special little cat, and she was a smart little cat, and she had her personality. She was just a very lovable little animal, but she had a temper. She did have a temper. If I stepped on her tail by accident or her paw by accident, you know, because sometimes she would get underfoot, you know, about 10 minutes later, she'd come over and bite me when I wasn't looking. I mean, she held a grudge. But once she finally got her retribution, she let it go. She didn't hold a grudge forever, but she did want to. She was a little monster. I got lots of little scars and bites from her. I think I got cat scratch fever from her once, you know. But that's cats, you know, you gotta love them. The reason why I'm making the video is because I have to say that being here in the vineyard, although has been at times very peaceful and very, very charming, I have to say that this particular chapter of my life has been marked by a lot of passings and deaths and dyings. Not just kitty cats, but you know, I've lost, I'm afraid, 4 kitty cats. Dusty, the first cat I had, which was another wild cat. I got it from the not pound rescue, but the veterinarian had a special deal on kitty cats, wild kitty cats or abandoned kitty cats, and you could, if you promised to take them home, they would spay and neuter them, and you know, if they knew you, if you were a client of theirs and they trusted you, then you could take this cat home and just pick one and say, that's what I want. And that cat, about 2 years ago, around October, just disappeared. And I have a feeling they were doing a lot of maintenance around here, and I think that the cat might have hopped in somebody's maintenance truck, you know, and they just drove off with the cat, and that was the end of it. Never saw her again. Her name was Trigger. And then, of course, my pet dog, Bear, died the very first few months we were here. I really believe it was a rattlesnake, now that I kind of put all the pieces together. And that was hard, very hard. One of the hardest things ever, putting down my pet dog, Bear. And then, but also real people, you know, a lot of really good friends. And then, but even more sadly, I have to say, is my aunt died just 3 years ago, just a few days ago, about a week ago. We get 3 years ago anniversary on August 15th, the Feast of the Assumption for you Catholics out there. And then my brother, a year and a half, almost 2 years now, on the morning of Christmas Eve, 2007. So, you know, it's funny, you know, I mean, there certainly are people that leave us and die in our lives, and beloved pets too, but it seems like I've kind of had a little bit more of my fair share the last couple of years, so it's been very hard. And so I'm coping the best I can. It's just a very kind of a poignant and pensive moment for me, because you know, you kind of deal with the reality of mortality and know that someday, you know, it'll be your turn. No fun. That's why we should always be ready. So anyway, again, this video is a little bit maybe out of place, perhaps. It's not one of my usual offerings of green screen effects and little special titles and music and little skits or whatever, little shticks that I do, impersonations and whatnot. Just a very simple little video and a little bit of music in the background. And I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. So long.